Alright, welcome back to another recap video. Today is Friday the 26th, starting to wrap up August. All of a sudden, August was here, and now it's almost gone. Time flies. Getting up and looking at the gap scanner this morning, it was all too reminiscent of the last couple days. I mean, it was the gaps looked weak. There wasn't a whole lot of options to choose from in the first place. And one of the only things that was up pre-market that actually looked good was drug. And this has been something that has been in play over the last few days. I mean, it goes back to the 18th of last week, which had a really strong day. So yeah, I did the bulk of my trading on this. And then there were a couple IPOs that I'll cover too, but those are pretty much, yeah, those were a bit rough. But anyway, starting out with drug. This thing, looking at the chart pre-market, it looked pretty nice. We were gapped up about 20%. And like I said, it was really one of the only other ones. You can see the watch list is pretty small today. There was a couple things that were up that I took off because they weren't moving. There was one that was on the scanner that ended up, it was just a reverse split. So yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot moving other than this straight away from the open. So yeah, pre-market, it looked pretty nice. We had this move consolidation, and into the open, it started making this move higher. And so I took a trade actually on the very first minute here. Ended up being a flat trade, pretty much a small loser. But anyway, I went for the break of highs when this did a red to green. We opened, it pushed up, and then it dipped down here, and then that got bought up really quickly. And when it got up to these highs, I took it. Granted, I kind of already missed the red to green right here when I didn't take it through this area. I got in, it hesitated a little bit, so I got out real quick, and I got feel a little bit low. So that was pretty much a break-even trade. And then I missed it up through this area right here. But then I tried to get it for the break of $4, and that ended up being a small little green trade. It was, if you look right here, $4 to 404. So yeah, something about this stock this morning is, out of the open, it was really high volume. I mean, there's 13 million shares on this first candle. In the first 5-minute candle of the day, there was something like, what was it? Yeah, 23 million shares. So it was moving really quickly, and it was just, it felt different than it traded the last few days, and I didn't feel very synced up to it. So all my trades on it were pretty small, and I didn't feel like I was timing my entries very well. And then I ended up taking a couple losers on it and got myself down, I think it was like 150 on the day. You can see right here, I ended up closing the day down 24. So all in all, it ended up being kind of like a scratch, like I said. So second trade on it, I guess I just covered that. Third trade on it. This thing I thought was going to go right here on this little bull trap right here. So we had obvious resistance at 90, and between the 90 and 95 right here with these wicks. And it tried to reclaim VWAP here, and I thought when this got, because this thing dipped when it tried to push and got bought up really strong. And the last few days, when this thing has been in play, when it comes back from dips, it seems to come back hard and it ends up doing a full kind of red to green. So I thought that it was going to do that here on the break. So I went for the break at 95 and ended up going up to $4, but I held because I really thought this thing was going to go. And then ended up hesitating a little bit, and then ended up flushing, and I got filled pretty low, and I took, that was the biggest loss on this trade right here. And then it ended up fading pretty much for the rest of the day from there. So that was a bit disappointing. And then after this flushed, I was just kind of sitting around looking for about an hour, and there was really nothing to trade. And then there were these two IPOs today. I don't know if they're both Chinese. I know this one, PXMD, or actually no, it was the other one. Jay-Z. I know this one is China. I'm not sure about PXMD. This thing was rough. I was looking at it. I think it was supposed to IPO at $4. Because, I mean, it was up like 2,000, 3,000% or something at this point. And I was like, what the heck? But there was only, I mean, 13,000 shares of volume, 28,000 shares, 30,000, 6,000. So, I mean, there was no volume coming in. I just kind of watched it just because I like to see what happens with these. And then we ended up getting a halt down here from 152 to 100. So it was brutal when it turned around. I mean, now it's trading at, what even is it, $21 a share. And then the other one, my best trade from today was on PXMD. This thing had a fairly strong IPO. It opened, went into a halt, opened, and then I believe it went into a halt after these candles here. I didn't end up taking any trades through these candles because it just seemed too risky. But then once it started getting bought up to this area, the spreads were a little bit tighter, and I was okay on this resumption. I'm gonna get a little bit more aggressive. I was also playing it timid because I was down on the day and I didn't want to make a red day worse. So I think that's why I didn't take any trades to this area. And then when this pushed here, it pushed through 10 and it dipped down and then dipped again. And I bought in and then it got a quick pop and when I sold out. So I got a quick 1088 to 1018. So it ended up being a nice 30-cent trade. And that brought me back to minus 24 on the day. And then from there, it halted down and faded. So the day was tough. There was really not a lot of opportunity, very slim. Overall markets, bad. We're down 3.5% right now in the Qs. And the thing is, this morning we had a nice move into the open, and we were gapped up on the day. Markets were gapped up slightly, and then this rally couldn't sustain, and then to the depths. So yeah, pretty bad market. You can see the red over here. These are just the general indices down anywhere from 2.5% to over 3%. So yeah, bad day out there in the market. Anyway, close the day minus 24. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, I won't be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday to trade. Hopefully there's some better things on the scanner. I'll be prepared and ready to go. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and I will be back with another recap video next week. Bye-bye.